Welcome Libra and Libra cross watchers to your love reading. So of course, thank you for stopping by my channel today. Happy to have you here. Hope that you've all had a great weekend and you have a great week coming up. Oh, wow. Make sure nothing else came through. So just a couple of quick things. Of course, I do have the private readings available again, so if you'd like to contact me about that, my email is below in the description box. And I do want to say, I will never reach out to anybody for a reading. It will be my email. So if someone is reaching out saying that they'd like to give you a reading, it's not me. So with that said, as always, please take this as it resonates and always use your intuition when making decisions about your life, because this is a general reading. Sorry, I'm just getting my light. And cross watchers, you're welcome to flip the roles if that resonates better with you. So, we have you in the Judgment and Hierophant energy, and your person is in the Ace of Cups reversed. And I actually feel that your person feels like you're kind of blocking them out right now. I feel like they kind of feel like they don't have a chance right now, which is unfortunate because I feel like this person seems to have a lot of emotion for you. So we'll get into it here. We have the Judgment and Hierophant on your end. And I actually feel like you have been, I almost want to say like you've been doing the work. And if you've done that work, I feel like you, you know exactly what I mean. I feel like you seem to have hit a point recently that made you change. You know what I mean? It's like you got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I feel like you've been busy taking care of business. I feel like you have been, to a certain extent, Libra, I'm going to call you out a little bit here. I feel like there's a possibility, that something or someone specifically has been trying to get your attention. I also feel to a certain extent that, what you see as your higher power has also been trying to get your attention and you are ignoring it. I feel to a certain extent, Libra, that it doesn't feel like a big enough sign or kind of like a red flashing sign. It doesn't feel like it's big enough or close enough for you to feel like you have to turn around from what you're doing. It almost feels like there's supposed to be some subtlety here that that's supposed to like speak to your heart here, but I feel like because you're not focused on it, you may not be seeing it. I also, I'm sorry to say, and I'm sorry to see this, if this is what you're going through, I actually feel to a certain extent you have closed your heart. I feel like it's almost like you're in an energy that, the higher power can blast that trumpet all they want, but it just feels like something went, it took it too far. Something went too far. I feel like it's like something got too deep and hurt you to the point that it's almost like it doesn't really matter what's on offer. It doesn't matter what's this or what's that. I feel like you feel so betrayed on a pretty potent level that I feel like it's almost like you don't trust the higher power anymore. You don't trust that they're trumpeting to get you to turn around to something good. And I feel like it's almost this energy of you just don't trust it. I feel like from your perspective, you feel that you put your heart in the hands of the divine, and you kind of feel like you got beat up by love. You know what I mean? It's like that, that you kind of allowed your heart to open, and it does kind of feel like the divine either they drew you into or they watched you go into the lion's den and didn't do anything. So I am sorry. I'm really sorry if that is how you're feeling, because that, I can't imagine what it must feel like to feel betrayed by the higher power, to feel almost like abandoned. I do want to say, Libra, I think you know that at least externally in like the 3D world, you seem to have bounced back, but I feel like the cut that you got from that situation, it's like it goes deep. And I feel like it may not actually be a part of who you are, but I feel like it was so deep, and it's like it might have actually like, oh, like it might have even felt like there was some sort of impact. Um, it's that energy of like the emotional pain was so severe that you felt physical pain, which actually makes me want to cry. And I'm sorry if that's what you've experienced. Um, so I just feel like okay, we'll go through the rest of your energy here. So in your headspace, we have the Chariot, which of course is about, self-control, self-discipline, um, motivation, going after what you want. And I feel like this is you. I don't know if you can see the look on, um, or on this person's face up here, but it's just like, what? It's like, if something good comes to your door, you're looking at it like, that's really suspicious. What's going on? What's the ulterior motive? You know what I mean? I feel like you, at least from your perspective, you sure as heck did get betrayed. I feel like you seem to feel that, like, I mean, of course, that you're going to be your own champion, but I feel to a certain extent that you kind of feel that um, I want to say like you're just not really letting anybody in, and it doesn't feel like you are completely closed off, but it does feel like um, it's like people are going to have to pass through a pretty stringent um, screening if they're even going to kind of sort of get close to you. Just wondering if we need to pull a card. Okay, before we dive into that, I think we'll... Okay, I think, you know what, we're just going to do it. Just looking at which deck to use here, 1 second. Mom? Sorry, one moment. Sorry about that, Libra. So I also got a sweater because I was super cold, so you might notice that. So the cards were talking about you putting people through a very stringent screening process. And I actually feel, Libra, that, again, I'm going to call you out a little bit, part of you is looking for any reason to exclude people. I feel like if you find people that resonate with you, then you're going to trust yourself and let them in. But I feel like it's that it'll have to be like one of those like past life sort of soul bonds, like, oh, I've known you before. It's that kind of an energy, this card. Oh. And then here's your heart space. So I actually feel that your heart has been kind of like, hey, Libra, can we come out to play? And I feel like to a certain extent, you do want to open up to that. However, I feel like it's almost like, I mean, I'd be the actual situation, obviously, but hear me out. It's almost like, let's say you're a parent and your kid is asking to go out and play with some kids. You don't know any of them, but you've heard some things that they're not the greatest, right? So it's almost like, yeah, okay, you can go, but you sit there with your sword and you're like, anybody touches my kid. It's that kind of an energy, but it's about your heart, right? So I feel like it also feels like there's this energy of, if it's like if you get the slightest whiff of somebody, of like impropriety, or someone's starting to mess around, or it's like, or someone's going to try to block the light that you're looking for, I feel like you have every intention of, not like, getting combative or anything. I mean, maybe you would, but it feels more that it's like you would pull it out root and stem, no matter how hard it was, no matter how much it hurt. It's like you're looking at the situation, or at life generally, really, that it's better to hurt now and save yourself heartache later, rather than just kind of let things happen and like, oh, let's see where this goes. No, no. Libra's not taking chances. Mm-mm. I do feel that part of you really wants to open up. I'm going to be straight with you. I feel like some of you are like, yeah, that sounds about right. Others of you are like, ha ha, ha no. And, everyone's on a different timeline, right? So, of course, I can't make you do anything. I do feel that you are feeling that pull to a certain extent. And I feel like that's why your head's like, well, okay, let me see how I can filter this. I keep seeing, like a strainer. Like when you're pouring pasta into a strainer, it's just like, I feel like even if something passes the screening process, you still seem to be, it's like you're going to be watching that person for a while to make sure that they are for you and not against you, and that they're not just there because they think you have this or that and they want that. You know what I mean? It's like maybe they, fair weather friends sort of thing. I feel like the only type of people that you would be letting in are people, maybe they aren't your ride or die yet, but I feel that it's like you would have to see that potential in them, if that makes sense. Anyway, I feel like I'm harping on that. So, your actions or intentions here is the Hanging Man, which of course is about, waiting. Oh, you crafty thing. So, what's really interesting is that you seem to be, it almost feels like you may act in a way that it's like you might pretend that you don't see certain nonverbal cues from people. I feel like you seem to want people to believe that you are more tied up um, in your past than you are. I feel like you seem to use that ability to portray yourself as, almost frazzled or whatever, because I feel like you seem to be able to pick up. It's like you see more, because I feel like it's a couple of things, right? It's like you see more if someone's being an ASS, right? But I feel also when you're in that, or when you're kind of, putting across that a bit frazzled energy, it's like the people that respond to that with care and concern and like, oh, hey, are you okay? You know what I mean? It's like you see those people as, the potential good ones, right? And it's not like codependency, meh, meh, meh. It's more that it's like you are looking for people that have the same caring, compassionate heart that you do, because you're not looking to get stabbed in the heart again. Like, it's just not gonna happen. So I do feel that, hold on for a second. Are you having a stare down with this person, Libra? Oh my goodness. Hold on for a second. Because with the Knight of Pentacles as the energy between the two of you, this person clearly wants to make an approach. And I feel somebody that may not quite understand where you're coming from, or doesn't kind of know the ins and outs of this, I feel like they would be looking at you wondering why you're being so standoffish kind of deal. It's almost like, well, do you have a grudge against this person? Because it may seem like that to the outside world, but actually, it does feel like, from your perspective, you've taken enough BS from people, right? It's not this person or this situation or that situation. It's like you got pushed to your point, and I feel like you kind of, when you got there, you're like, all right, fine. And you took control of the narrative. And you seem to be doing a pretty good job. I do want to say, Libra, I'm going to just food for thought, okay? I understand that you are in this energy because it was warranted, because you've been screwed over repeatedly and hurt repeatedly. And I feel like your compassion was um, utilized as a weakness against you. So, of course, that's going to harden you, right? That makes sense. I do feel, Libra, I'm asking you a question instead of saying something. Do you feel that the people, places, situations that put you into that energy where you felt that you had to harden, have those people, places, situations exited your life? Have you disconnected from them? Because I feel like if that is the case, staying, like, of course you need to be vigilant, right? But staying in this energy where you're hard, your heart is hard, um, is it possible that you doing that and continuing to feel that anger, that resentment, that's keeping you hardened, is it possible that now you're, it was a defense mechanism required at first, but I feel like is it possible that you're punishing yourself now? Not because you want to or because you think this or that. It's almost like it just feels like now that you're in this energy and you are either unable or unwilling to let go of it, it does feel like you are punishing yourself to a certain extent. Not that you're doing that, self-flagellation or whatever, but just, are you having the experience with other humans that you want? Because I actually feel that the answer is maybe not affirmative for that. I feel like some of you that are still in this energy that haven't healed, that haven't, carved those people out or that or whatever. I'm rambling. I feel for some of you that you still are actually deeply hurt about this. You aren't just defensive, you're hurt. You're still hurt. I feel like those of you, take the time that you need to heal, right? But it's like if that's in the past and you're just defensive now, I feel like it may be helpful for you to look at what kind of experience you want with other humans. How open and loving and caring and kind do you want it to be? Because I feel like you are wise enough to know that just because those people did whatever, you're not going to paint everybody with that same brush. It's like you still understand that maybe those people were jerks, but that doesn't mean the whole world is. And I feel like you may have gotten into a habit of that to survive the situation. And so I'm going to invite you to look at, are you out of that situation? And if so, don't you deserve to have the openness in relationships that that your heart truly wants? So, on your person's end, we have the Ace of Cups reversed. So that's a tricky energy. I feel like if it was upright, this person might be trying to like push something on you or whatever. But it's almost the energy of like maybe this person came in with every intention of having a romantic connection with you, and I feel like it's like here they walk in and they're like, oh no, nope. It's almost like, for example, maybe just for an example, obviously won't be the situation for everyone, but it's like they walk in with a bottle of wine thinking there's going to be like romantic times, and they get there and it's like it's a completely different scenario than they thought they were going to walk into. It's almost like there's fireworks, it's like there's, I almost want to say like there's hellfire, like it's just chaos. And what I absolutely adore about this person here is it's like they just kind of like back away and put the wine down, and they come in, and it's like, this seems to be the type of person that's going to pick up a sword or pick up this javelin and walk up next to you and be like, okay, who next? Who are we going to take on next? Because I feel like that this is the type of person. Um, okay, either this person knew you before all of this happened and they remember you that way, and it's like they seem to want to do everything in their own power to support you getting there again. And I feel like, honestly, this makes me want to cry. I feel like this person sees that you just need someone on your team. You know what I mean? If you have been feeling like you were fighting this alone, this person, it's almost like they know that if they try to run in and save the day, that you're going to tell them to hit the road. So it doesn't feel like they're coming in wanting to be, a knight in shining armor. It's like they just kind of want to ride alongside you and support you while you save yourself. And so I feel like this person, either they knew you before as this, or I feel like they know that with time, with patience, with, it's almost like with just accepting you and allowing you to be who you are, where you are, as you are, I feel like they know that you're going to get back here. There is a little bit of, at least from this person's perspective, that it's almost like you've kicked so far into this very rigid, almost like masculine energy, male or female, or other gender, it doesn't matter. It's about the energy, right? So it's like you kicked so far into this very rigid, masculine, almost like forceful energy. But this person knows that there's this beauty inside you. It's just like, I feel like they also know that most, if not all, of the people around you haven't acted in a way that makes them friggin' deserve it. And it's not like this person's coming in and being like, I'm going to get the best from Libra and I'm going to, no. I feel like this seems to be the type of person that, even if they haven't been through this specific situation, which maybe they have and they get it, I feel like they know what it feels like to be abandoned. They know what it's like to have to fight on your own. And I feel like even if something romantic doesn't come from this person seems to be wanting to make a commitment to be by your side. If for no other reason, I keep feeling like I'm going to cry, I'm sorry. If for no other reason, then it's like, if ever you've heard those motivational speeches with Denzel Washington, he's like, when you succeed, each one help one. So it's like when you've succeeded, because you were given help in whatever capacity along the way, you turn around and you pull somebody up. And I feel like this person, it's like they saw what was going on and they saw that it was an opportunity for them to be a solid influence in someone else's life, just like they've experienced in their life. Sorry for getting all the emotional there. So, we have the Three of Pentacles. I do feel to a certain extent, okay, listen. If this person is a romantic interest, and I think you'll know, I feel like you might see times, it's almost like there seems to be opportunities where this person can, could have made a move or could have done this or that. And I feel like they actually choose to just support you in what you're doing. It's like they don't make a move. They don't come in. They're not there to get what they can out of you. You know what I mean? It's not about them. And I don't know why I keep wanting to cry. I'm sorry. Sorry, Libra. I just feel like I'm going to burst into tears and I don't know why. Okay. So, I feel like this person is mature enough, is fulfilled enough within themselves that they kind of take their romantic, um, notions of a connection here with you, and it's like they just take them and they put them to the side, and it's like, okay, how can I help? You know what I mean? It's like if they came in with like the wine and they kind of had an agenda because they wanted to, not an agenda in a, that they wanted to use you, but they had an idea of kind of how they wanted this relationship to go. And I feel like they get there and they're like, oh, shiz, no, no, Libra needs me differently right now. So it's more about what you need rather than what their original intention was. I feel like this is somebody that, to a certain extent, right? Because I feel like they, everybody has their own stuff going on. But I feel like this is the type of person that is very others centered. And I feel like that seems to actually come from a really, um, you know, I don't know how to say this. Um, it's like a dignified humility. You know what I mean? It's like this is the type of person that uses their power to help people. This is the type of person that uses their influence, their know-how, their like, multitasking, get it done sort of energy. It's like this person uses it everywhere that they can. And what I absolutely love is that it's like it's not even that this person has to be like, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna be the hero. It's like they see a problem and they're like, oh, I'm gonna put the wine down, I'm gonna go help, and that's it. There isn't all of this like it puffs out their ego or it makes them feel good about themselves. It's like they do it because that's a part of who they are. It's like a knee-jerk reaction, right? It's like in the same way that if you, I don't know, just to illustrate the energy, it's like in the same way that if you smell something funky, you kind of get that like, okay, what's that? I don't know why that's the example. In the same way that everyone would kind of be like, oh, that smells a little funky. I feel like this person's like, oh, there's trouble? Cool. I'm gonna help. It just, they seem to have this, it's like, hold on for a second. You know what? They're just a really good person. And I feel like they make choices that may not always be the easiest choice. But I feel like this person would rather, as like, for example, in this situation, they would rather sacrifice any possibility of being with you to help you get to where you need to go. Genuinely. I do feel that they kind of, listen, to a certain extent, this person does seem to really wish that they could kind of tell you how they really feel. But to them, it just feels like it's so the wrong time. You know what I mean? It's almost like they see that if they said something to you, it just would be another burden for you. And it's like, they don't want to do that to you. So their actions or intentions, we have the Four Wands. So of course we know the Four Wands is that's the 1111 card, and I feel like this person is just going to be somebody that it's like they'll morph from friend into family. I feel like this person kind of here I want to say like here come the waterworks again. Sorry guys. I feel like this person seems to want to be a really good influence on you, and I feel like they, not that they want to come in and save you, okay? I want to be really clear that there isn't that kind of codependency. They gotta save you for their own ego, and they can't be happy if you're not happy. Blah blah blah. It's more that I feel like they want to help you have faith in people again, because I feel like this person has had some really difficult experiences, and they have, in those really difficult experiences, there have been people that have acted in the way that this person acts now. And what's interesting is that it's not even like, oh, I'm going to emulate this person by doing this now. I feel like this person it's like when they saw people doing that, I feel like they may have already even felt the need to act in that way, but it's like they had a certain impression about how they were supposed to act. And once they let go of all of that conditioning or kind of peeled it away, it's like they were able to become the kind of person that they've always admired. So I definitely feel that this person, is coming in. The relationship situation between you is the Knight of Pentacles. It's more like they're going to come in and kind of be a strategist and be a, a person that's, for example, if you were in a battle, it's like they're the one that's going to pore over the maps with you, come up with a strategy, and figure it out. And I feel like they're kind of coming in almost wanting to be like, these are all of the things that I can help with. I have this much experience and I can be an asset to you. If that's cool with you, if you'll let me, right? Because they don't want to come in and be like everybody else in your life and just insert themselves wherever they want to be in your life. So what can Libra, what does Libra need to know about this? So we do have the moon at the bottom of the deck. And then of course we have we have your card, right? We have the Libra card. So Libra, I feel like, I do feel that this person, when they come in like this, and to a certain extent, maybe they're not coming in trying to be your hero, but that's exactly what they end up being. You know what I mean? I do feel that this person, I want to say like slowly but surely, helps you to find that balance again. It's almost like their steady presence, them being there for you, kind of like, how does this, like being down for what you need and what you want. They actually seem to, it's like you move from being completely closed off, and I feel like you start kind of allowing, instead of automatically cutting people off, cutting them out, not letting anybody in, I feel like you get to a place where you're not afraid anymore. And I'm going to cry again. I am so sorry. And I feel Libra, there's a message here that like, listen, man, I know you're going through it or you've been through it. I don't know if you can see this. So I'm sure you can see that there's like a gold and silver here. But I've had this deck for a while. It's the first time I've ever noticed that this is a yin and yang sort of thing. So I actually feel like you seem to have realized a truth, although it may be subconsciously at first. And I feel like you actually move into this incredibly powerful energy because it's like you've been in the light, you've been in the dark, and I feel like because you know both, you seem to have a level of wisdom that it's almost like when you are making a decision or when you're coming to a conclusion, you seem to consider things that most people wouldn't, and it's because you don't just understand things about the situation. It's like you understand things about like good and bad, give and take, that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. And I feel like you seem to, it's like in understanding how the world works, and not that, not how humans do it, right? But like on an energetic level, I feel like you start to observe how things are controlled by people's intention. It's like you just kind of, you know how that moment in The Matrix, spoiler alert, but it is the first one, where it's like originally he sees it as like people, and then all of a sudden he sees it as just code. You're seeing the code now. And what does Libra not need to know about this person? So we have the World and the King of Wands. Okay, wait. It actually, I don't know if you can see. No, you can't. So I have a drawer here with my tarot cards, and the King of Wands actually landed reversed. So, the King of Wands, when upright, is someone that's very passionate, someone that will, help people take advantage of situations to, better their life, to move forward, to take action. But reversed, it's a very, like almost like a fury-based energy. It's like, it's an opportunist, right? And I feel like with the support of this person, you are ending the cycle of a-holes like this. It's like as soon as they see you coming, they're going to turn and walk the other way, because the way you carry yourself, the way you move, the look in your eye, it's almost like how you like tense your jaw or something. There's something very specific that sends these type of people running, because they can see when they look in your eye that if they mess you around, you will not hesitate to respond. And people like this, it's like they won't even be in your realm anymore. Obviously you'll still be vigilant because of your experiences, but people like that are going to be few and far between. And I feel like because you're in such a powerful energy, it's like, and I feel even if down the road you lower those stringent requirements for people to get into your life, you're going to see people like this coming a mile away. So actually, I think I will leave it there, Libra. So if this reading resonated, I hope it was helpful and brought you some clarity. I really do hope that it was helpful. So that's what I have for you today, Libra. I love you so much, and I wish you all the best in the future. See you on the next one. Much love. Bye.